Hello, everyone. Happy Friday or Saturday, depending on where you are. Okay, we've got a fun report coming your way today. First of all, welcome to all of our new subscribers. You guys know the drill, those of you who are OGs. So we want to welcome from Ottawa, Tennessee. I hope I said that right. Goochland, Virginia. Welcome. Cincinnati. Welcome. Coast of Spain. Oh, exotic and lovely. Welcome. Hawaiian Islands. Oh, and thank you for that mantra. So she wrote in her comment, I love myself with every breath. Oh, that one gave me chills, and I totally have already adopted it and have been doing it today. So thank you for sharing. Arkansas, welcome, a star seed. We're going to be having some more star seed conversations moving forward. Erie, Pennsylvania, welcome. Wisconsin, welcome. Vancouver Island, beautiful country up there. Atlanta, Georgia, Virginia, and Northeast Tennessee. Welcome to all of you. So, and again, a big welcome to those of you who were watching over on the When Pigs Fly podcast channel. We moved the train over here because this station was free and available. And so here we go. Um, First, I do want to talk about some of the ascension symptoms that we're absolutely going to be feeling right now because we just had three big blasts of literally whiteouts. And thank you to those of you who pointed out. So the blackouts, by the way, the blackouts can cause brain fog and definitely affected me yesterday. So those blackouts that I showed you are timeline shifts, and they're massive timeline shifts, which means we're just getting closer and closer and closer to becoming our true self. And this is where that breath message was very important. And I know that a couple of you have mentioned that you're seeing similar information from other light workers. This is very, very common. Now, here's how you discern, though. If it feels right for you, go with it. Some of you may hear contradictory information, and that's okay too. You literally, I'm here sharing my personal experience and then my tools, but just take what resonates with you and throw the rest out. And that's really important because we each have a unique frequency. We each have a unique mission. So in sharing my stories, sometimes they're like an activation. So it can trigger something you experience, and then and it kind of gives you clarity, even though your situation might be completely different. So I hope that makes sense, but go into the heart, right? And say, how does this feel? So if you see other reports or whatever, other light workers giving information, all you have to do is go into your heart and say, I mean, honestly, that's how I find my own guides and mentors now. And it's usually extremely choiceless. It's just, okay, this is absolutely for me. So keep that in mind. And no one's ever late to the party. You're never behind. Very important, because we all are coming into our own consciousness at the perfect time for us. Our consciousness is way ahead of us right now. And the integration happens based on what we're able to receive in the moment. You can imagine, look at what we're going through right now, and we're aware of it. Can you imagine what if we're not aware of it? And yes, I'm going to actually talk about that later in the video when I get over to the chakra chart. So for now, you know the drill. Let me move my melon out of the way and let's talk about this Schumann. Okay, so here we go. You can see that this was late yesterday you can see the integration almost paused a little, and then there's more integration here. We still see these vertical lines. By the way, I don't know about you guys, but I was definitely feeling pressure in the upper chakra, the head, the throat. I have cotton mouth. I can't drink enough water. And my solar plexus have been firing all day today. And I'm trying some warm water because that's like one of the yucky ones, the solar plexus. Like, you don't have an appetite. You're just like, okay, just finish purging already. I need to get to the fun part of this. So I do talk to my solar plexus, but I tell them I love them and they're doing a great job. Just go faster. Okay, so this is a massive high frequency. And I'm actually surprised this was just high enough or low enough that it didn't trigger another blackout, but this is a massive burst of light. So this can trigger anxiousness, a feeling that you feel like you should be doing something. And then when you combine that with those timeline shifts, what happens is you can literally, like, sometimes I felt like I was an observer of my body and I was like, I don't even know what you're doing right now, bud. But I'm observing you. And then I go to do something and then I'm like, wait, did I just do that? I can't remember. Or a conversation did I dream that or did I have that conversation? Very normal right now. You're not losing your mind. It's when these timelines collapse, stuff like objects, you put an object somewhere and you're like, I knew it was here, and then it's gone missing. And then the next day you go and it's back where it was. Absolutely happens with these, massive, massive timeline shifts that we've been having. So, um, a few of you had asked, and I deal with this almost daily with some clients too. It's very common. How do these big shifts affect those who are not awakened yet? So basically, it can put them into dark night of the soul, because what's happening is, because they're not aware that this purging is in their best interest, right? That the light is coming in to ascend you up to a higher frequency where lack and limitation and suffering does not even exist. Instead, their view of it, right? Their perspective, higher consciousness and awareness is a higher perspective. So their perspective is on that level of, all of this is happening to me. They can be triggered, they can be very angry, they can be very spicy, they can be sad, depressed, and what they're feeling is very real. And they will come into their own eventually, but it takes that, when you start getting that calling of something, I'm here for a bigger purpose, I'm here for a bigger reason, or you start to be curious about, wait, why am I really here? Something's going on here, and what's going on the planet, right? So when you start to feel that, then you start to like land on channels like mine, or landing on When Pigs Fly, because you're like, okay, you start Googling stuff and going, what's really going on out there? And here we are. So I hope that that helps those of you. And here's the key. And I learned this one the hard way, because everybody you love, you want them to wake up now, not tomorrow. Now, I want to be able to have these crazy conversations with you, and I can't because you're looking at me like I'm batshit crazy. So what we have to do is, you bring in your own light. You just bring light and love and have absolute compassion, because we can't entangle in their energy. When you entangle in someone else's energy, what happens is you suffer, because now you're taking on their, right. And then now that's another thing that you're having to purge again, and you don't want to go through that. So it's practicing compassion. And it's funny because my guides gave me this crazy vision for this one, and I'm actually going to make it, because I love me some Canva, but it was basically a bunch of light orbs flying in space, and they were looking for, where's the ascension? Like, they're looking for an arrow or some direction, but they all had baby faces on it. So the metaphor was, how would you treat a baby who's suffering, right? With love and compassion. You don't scream at it and you don't go, wake up. So I am going to make that, because it just sounds like too much fun for me. So what else? Let's look at what all of this is doing in our chakras. Give me a second. I'm going to switch the graphs here. Okay, so by the way, this graph and the previous one was taken a little over an hour ago, Friday. So today at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So here you can see, this is that big blast of light that came in, and I put arrows to show you it's hitting all the chakras almost equally. And this was 4 hours of persistent high frequency energy. So, like I said, whatever it is that you're needing to clear, right? Wherever you're feeling that there's some area where you're not letting go, that is usually the chakra that's going to really feel it, right? And you can just say, ask your guides for assistance and say, please help me clear whatever's not in my best and highest good. Just please help me clear whatever is not in my best and highest good. And I ask them to do the heavy lifting at night. I'm like, just bring it on at night while I'm asleep. But, with these big blasts, let me tell you, a lot of it was happening during the day too. We just, we're holding on to each other. It's a roller coaster, but talk about light at the end of the tunnel. There's light times 1,000 at the end of this tunnel, and it's amazing. So we're going to hang in there together. Again, welcome to all of you who are new. Keep hitting that like and subscribe, share it with those whom you think are ready to hear the information. I'm absolutely following the energy here. This weekend, I'm doing another quantum healing, and those usually knock me out, but I always wake up with like downloads the next day. So that'll be, by Monday, I will absolutely, I have a feeling have more to share. One last note, I'm looking at my notes here. One last note is that all of these upgrades that we're going through, so the physical upgrades, please, please, please keep doing that breath work and use the mantra and add in this. I highly recommend adding in, I love myself more and more with every breath, or I love myself with every breath. Why? Because what we're doing is you're integrating your soul, your emotional body, and your physical body that has to come together like this for 5D. And so the more you practice that self-love piece, which I know for me, didn't even know what it was when I started this journey. But the more you practice that, your soul gets fed, and then your soul starts to reveal your gifts. You'll start to get inspiration. You'll start to have an interest, and it comes in the form of a curiosity or an inspiration, or just that a nudge to go check something out. So that's how your gifts will start to come in. Some of you I know in here have already had some gifts coming through. I know some have had feelings in their hands that their hands are healing, and it's absolutely true. So as this continues to unfold, you will get more and more clarity. And just like right now, we're just hanging on and getting through these bursts of high frequency light coming in. And what it is doing is, the guidance that I've gotten is that we're being prepared for for more solar events. Okay. Not in a scary, horrible way, that they're doing it so that our bodies can receive it, because our bodies were in density for so long that we're becoming more of a light body, essentially. So we need to be able to receive more light in a peaceful and easy way. So that's really what's going on at this stage. But all these stages are going so fast. So anyway, that's all I got for today. And you may or may not see me on the weekend. If stuff goes down, I will absolutely be here and give you some updates. And again, welcome to all of our subscribers. And please keep telling me in the comments where you're from. And please keep loving on each other. That's why we're here. We're about to enter into a blank zone where we are really, really leaning on each other very heavily to guide each other. And then hopefully we'll get into some fun co-creation stuff here down the road. So I love you all, and have a beautiful, beautiful weekend wherever you are. Mwah. Bye.